What's going on, you guys? Thank you for tuning in for another week on our Mindtality podcast. I just want to remind you guys, if you guys aren't watching on YouTube, you could also find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Again, that's Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. We hope you guys enjoy this episode, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Go ahead and start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right,
Good morning, and welcome back to the Mindtality podcast. I am your co-host, Eric Ogaz, along with,
I'm Rodolfo. I'm the host.
and we're going to have a special guest today. But before we get into introducing him, I just want to reiterate our mission statement on why we are doing this podcast. So this podcast is for those that are just joining us this week. The purpose of this is to bring a change into your life, regardless of your situation, with weekly uploads to start your week off with a positive mindset and warrior mentality. Now, Rodolfo, I'm excited for this podcast. We got a special guest on today.
We
Go
do
ahead.
have a special guest, and I'm super excited myself. This gentleman here, you can find him on TikTok at Fit.blake. You can find him on Instagram on fitnessblake12 and Snapchat at bpederson12. This gentleman here is a student at the University of Oregon with a passion for training and studying both in health and fitness. He's currently preparing for a competition that's posted at late June of this year. He has future aspirations to become a professional bodybuilder, prep coach, one-on-one trainer, and definitely just an overall teacher of fitness and health. Without further ado, Blake, how are we doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having me on, Rodolfo.
Of course, brother. We're super excited. Eric and I wanted to bring a special guest on, and we had a few options, but when he was telling me about you, Blake, one thing that came to mind looking at your TikTok, looking at your Instagram page, was the willpower and determination that you have. And that's why we chose you for our topic this week. And that is, again, willpower and determination. I'm going to go ahead and just go over the definition. And then if you want, you can just give me like a couple of just kind of like an overall mindset that you have going in about bodybuilding. Just give us like just a brief, like an overall cap. But really quick. So the definition for determination is firmness of purpose, resoluteness, and unwavering. So just to give the audience an idea of what we're getting into. So Blake, really quick, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm a young guy from Southern California. I grew up there most of my life. Went to a private high school, kind of separated from my friends, younger age, and had to grow up a lot quicker than most would have to. I moved out of my apartment with my mom at 14 and into my high school, into a dorm. So that was a big eye opener. And then coming to college, I wanted to branch out, get away from California, expand the horizons, get out of my comfort zone, come here. I had sparked an interest in bodybuilding in high school. So when I got here, I just furthered that interest. And I would say, like, right now I'm on the path to trying to become a professional bodybuilder. I have a lot of self-efficacy, so I feel a lot of confidence in myself to be able to get to these points. And really it's all about hard work and what kind of positive, optimistic mindset you can continuously keep so you can continuously grow.
Yeah, it's great. It's great because I grew up with Blake. We met when we were young in the first little league team, and just to see him grow from what we were to now, it's definitely special to see that. But Blake, my question to you: what motivates you, man? What really gets you fired up?
So, obviously the fact that there's a lot of opportunity on the line here, and there's definitely a sense of urgency for me to reach that opportunity as quickly as possible. I don't have time to sit around and wait for tiny changes for my life to be some insane thing. Like I want way more than my mind could even possibly understand on its own. I just want to succeed. And um, my whole life, I've only seen nothing but failure. So I've only been dealt a hard hand, and now all I want to do is just work harder and try to make it big. Because I've got nothing to lose, and there's no other choice but success in this life for me. So I refuse to accept failure, and that's what pushes me every day. On top of that, I mean, Eric, you and I both know that I did not grow up in the best financial situation or the best parent situation. My dad not being around, my mom having to work all the time, put food on the table. Poverty really does things for you. trauma Trauma pushes you to want to be better if you know what to do with it, I guess. But yeah, I want to do more for my mom, and I want to do more for myself, and I want to do more for the people around me. I want to help people. I want to get rich, and I want to help other people do the exact same thing and enjoy myself in the process.
Couldn't have answered that better, Blake. You talked about opportunity. More importantly, you mentioned urgency. Now, for the listeners, is it urgency in the sense of wanting to obtain success like in a period of 12 months, that type of urgency, or more the sense of like, you know, that if you start letting off the gas, you could potentially like fall into like a hamster wheel of like where you could start cutting corners? Like, can you kind of give us, can you expand on that, on the
So
urgency portion?
yeah, urgency. I want to live fast. Like I want to get to where I want to be in this world fast, whether that be 6 months or 4 years, whatever it may be. I'm going to work as hard as I can to get to that point as quickly as possible. So there's that urgency for me where it's like, I'm tired of being poor now. Like I want to be rich now. So there's that sense of urgency. And then there's also the sense of urgency, like you just explained, where, I mean, basically, if I start to cut corners, and it's like it starts to dwindle,
Okay.
and you start to just kind of slack off a little bit. So you have to keep yourself accountable, and that urgency helps me stay accountable.
Yeah, definitely. And if you guys haven't already, while you guys are listening to the podcast, do check out his tech talk. You guys will be understanding what I'm trying to like share with you guys. Is if you look on his TikTok, he's driving long distances, he's prepping his meals, he's weighing to the calorie, you know. Um so that's why I was asking, like, man, he's not like letting off the gas, and I could definitely understand like he has this opportunity, he doesn't want to blow it. My question to you, Blake, regarding your TikTok again, um I see a lot of negative comments on your videos. Some of them, a lot of people don't even have room themselves to talk. It's usually like a skinny guy or an overweight guy who has something cute to say. But overall negative. How does that make you feel? And does that really affect your drive?
So there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to unpack with that question. The negative effects on the mentality and someone's mind through social media is it's quite a bit to unpack, but I'm gonna try my best here. So the way I always go into this situation when I read these negative comments, and like obviously it kind of hurts a little bit. Like I'm only human. So as soon as I read it, there is a slight negative connotation, and in my body and in my mind, like I'm like, ah, dang, I wish he didn't say that, or I wish that person just didn't say that, because obviously it does make me feel a little bit, I guess, insecure or sad or depressed in some way, just because I feel like I'm not helping everybody then. um, but at the end of the day, I always come back to the same mindset that like it's the internet, and these people on the internet, they're basically not real. They're just, it's just when you click on their profile, just like you said, there's not much to show for it. It's like that one guy that you like that. I mean, there's plenty of examples, but there was an example where some guy called me small, and you go to his page and it's just like him and his cat. And like, so it's just, it's whatever. It's just the internet. Um, and it's all about like how you deal with that negativity. It's not really about the negativity itself. It's about you and how you can overcome that and how you can change from that negativity. So like it's best not to dwell on those kinds of things because it doesn't really matter. It's the internet. Just brush it off, keep going. But make sure to take care of your mental health in the process. Like make sure to understand that like it's not okay what these people are saying, but you're on this and you're doing this, and you have to accept this reality that people are people on the internet, especially. And the internet's a ruthless place. And if you're going to be out there putting yourself in your face and your opinion, all those things, you have to be able to accept the adversity that's going to come from that, because there's always going to be something. So with the negative comments, you just got to stay as optimistic as possible and continue to keep pushing and grinding with yourself because you're just confident.
Absolutely. I remember we were talking the other day, and you had said all publicity is good publicity. I thought that was really a really good quote to give. When I played baseball, I was always kind of taught any energy towards you, whether it's bad or good, is still energy, and it's giving you the power to continue moving, whether or not it's good or bad. It's still energy. It's still going towards you because it means you're doing something right, whether it's working out every day or just going to your work. People are giving you the time and energy. You're obviously doing something right with that. So um, you know as far as this next question here, I want to break this down because a lot of our people listening to this podcast are trying to find that passion, just as you found that passion, right? You found passion in bodybuilding and fitness and health. So, you know, how did you find your passion, and when did you know that this was the time? Like, I want to spend all my willpower and determination into this.
So that's a really deep question, Eric. And like I love this question because I feel that most people don't really know their passion, and they kind of just give up on trying to find that and just get into the the wheel of being, I guess, just normal or like super okay and complacent with your situation, which is fine. But yeah, let's get into this situation. So passion, finding your passion is really about yourself. It's all about you, and it's about how you can reflect on yourself enough to understand what you really want out of your life. And it could be anything for anybody, and it depends on, I mean, and it could take in any amount of time. It just depends on you and what you're willing to do out of your comfort zone, because more than likely your passion will require you to have to step out of your comfort zone to be able to pursue it. Just like mine is, I'm not going to have a regular job, but I'm basically banking on becoming a professional bodybuilder to succeed in this world, and I'm okay with that. So a lot of self-reflection is involved in trying to find your passion, and I highly recommend that you sit down and really think about what you want to do with yourself in your life. Um, Definitely get rid of the self-doubt. So confidence in what you want to do and confidence in yourself, self-efficacy, and I talk about this all the time. Being manifestation towards what you want and things like that is, it's getting rid of your self-doubt, and it's pushing you towards your own passion and what you want to do. So um, continue to be confident in yourself and practice that, as well as trying to discover new things and branch out. It's okay to try new things and research different stuff. Just get to it. Just work hard.
Yeah, you had mentioned discovery, and which you had figured out. Did you just randomly figure out that you wanted to do bodybuilding, or was it something that you kind of knew that you've always wanted to do?
So I've been really into health and fitness and biology and all sorts of stuff related to the gym and the human body for the last 4 years. But I didn't realize that bodybuilding was my passion until during quarantine, when I was at a pretty low point And at the very beginning of quarantine, I was pretty low point because I couldn't go to the gym. I couldn't do what I wanted to do, and I couldn't succeed. I thought my success was being hindered by the the lockdown, which it really wasn't. It was my own mentality that was hindering me. So I was talking to one of my friends, and I don't know, he had said a few things about me that made things click, because I was talking to him about starting a supplement business and maybe working or maybe just finding like a job at like a bank, or I don't know, a very regular job, 9 to 5, definitely 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And he started telling me about how he didn't want to see me just like work at an office or something like that. And then it resonated with me a little bit. And I eventually, about halfway through quarantine, my whole mentality changed. Like I just flipped a switch, and things started to open up a little bit, and I started working and got active. And then, yeah, I was just like, you know what, this is what I really want to do. And like, I can't stop thinking about it. I research it all the time. I'm just going to go after it. So it was more of like somebody had to rattle a few things in my head and make me feel like shit a little bit until I reflected enough to realize, oh, this is what I want.
Yeah, I like that response, Blake. I also like how you said it wasn't until like you got moving where opportunities started opening up. I think that's important for our viewers, especially maybe for people who don't know what they want to do in life, or maybe who have a 9 to 5 already and they just don't feel satisfied with their life. I think change starts, happiness starts, the journey to find your passion begins when you explore. And again, like Big said, it wasn't until he started moving where he felt like opportunities began to make themselves appear. My question to you, Blake, is when we talk about this success and the journey and the drive and the willpower and the determination that's required on this road to success, is it always visible with manifestation? Is it always in the pounds? Is it always in the muscles? Can you give us some
So,
thoughts on that?
yeah, definitely. So measuring success, um, I'm just as normal as any other human being. To me, everybody's on the same playing field. Um, and I think like I personally believe mentality is 80% of everything you do in your life. Um, so I use mentality for everything, and mentality and succeeding go hand in hand for me. So I manifest my success, and it is visible. Um, if you've looked at my TikTok this morning, I've hit 50,000 followers, and yesterday I was at 49.7 or 49.8. Um, so it's visible in the sense that it's my social media is growing, but it's also visible in a sense that I'm growing physically. I'm getting leaner, I'm getting bigger, whatever it may be. But there's also the feeling that like I wake up every day and I know I'm ready to work hard for what I want. It's an everyday thing. So personally, if you wake up every day and you have a drive to better yourself, that's success. If you have a drive to do something to improve your life situation, that's a form of succeeding, or you're starting to succeed. um, it's all about how you deal with the situation, and how you go about your day. Like if you have time, if you're not doing so, if you have time to sit down and play video games at whatever age you are above the age of like 17, you probably are not utilizing your time at the best you could be. And and if you feel like you aren't succeeding because you may feel like you have no time, but trust me, there's plenty of time out there for you to deal with, and just start working hard at it. So I would say like just keep trying, keep working hard, and manifest it, because it will come. You just have to work hard.
So, in your opinion, success is knowing that you're working hard within the things that you're doing. Not necessarily is it visible. Is that right? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it
not
both
always
visible?
visible. It's not always going to be visible. Like there's going to be a point where things slow down. You're going to face adversity along the way of success. Like, you're going to face problems. That's just life. That's normal. You deal with it. You get over it. You keep going. And if you can keep going, that's succeeding. I don't know. I personally don't think that, like, I think it's pretty easy to succeed in this world if you have the right mentality to do so. I think everybody can do it too. It's all about the mind.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our quote of the week. If you ain't first, you're last. The wise words of Ricky Bobby at Talladega Nights. Blake, what does that mean to you?
So to me, that quote, I wanted to throw that quote out there because, like, it's a representation of hard work. Like, if you don't, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to do this. Now, you don't tell anybody, then you look like a little conceited or something. It's all up here. It's all personal. Okay. You tell yourself, I'm going to be first. I'm going to be at the top. I'm confident. I'm strong. All these things. And, like, that's what's going to put you in first. And if you don't have those things, you might as well be last, because you're just going to be like everybody else with a negative mentality or whatever it may be. But you need to have the different mentality to separate yourself from the black. You want to be the black sheep. You want to separate yourself from the rest. So if you're not first, you are last.
Rodolfo, can you go ahead and break us out and give us some final words here?
Yeah, so definitely also on this quote, just like Blake said, it's more of like a mental state. This is something like you would want to tell yourself while you're training or while you're doing homework or while you're driving to work. You just want to start building that first place mentality. It's not a form of cockiness or like being vain. It's definitely just a mindset of not settling for being second, not settling for being third, like, oh, at least I placed. No, you want to definitely tell yourself like, sure, yes, I did place second, that's fine. But you're concerned with, what can I do? This type of quote here tells you, like, what can I do to place first? What changes can I make? You're constantly emphasizing the end all be all goal, and that's to be the best. Everyone wants to be the best in their field. Even if you deny it, at some extent, you want to be the best. You want to be on top. So it's not being content with an average mentality. It's more of you're setting a standard, and you're really engraving it into your heart. I do want to thank you, Blake, for joining us on this podcast. Thank you for sharing some things of your personal life and just your goals. It's going to be an honor seeing you grow. I'm happy to meet you personally. Thank you, Eric, for introducing us and for bringing them on. It was a pleasure for sure.
Thank you so much, Rodolfo. Eric, thank you guys so much for bringing it on for this opportunity. Everybody listening, just start making decisions, start making moves. Don't wait a second longer to start changing your life and start changing your mentality for the better, because you never know when this is going to end. So you might as well start now.
I love it. All right, there's the end of our podcast, you guys. Make sure you guys support us on our social medias. They'll be listed on the video. And you guys have a great week. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.